Hey everybody, it's great to be back with you. This is Rabbi Shmuel Pollan with another edition of the Light Unto the Nations show. We have a wonderful show for you today. But before we get into that, let me remind you that we have a book for sale called All In for God, and it's going to dispel all your doubts about God and the Bible. And I'll leave a link in the description to tell you where to get the book. And we're doing a second video in one day, so I am on fire. And we're going to get right into it. I just watched a video. This is why I'm doing this second in one day video, because I just watched a video by a man named Rabbi Alon Anava. So I guess he's a colleague of mine because we're both rabbis. Um, I was so impressed by this video. There was so much research done into it. It was so well done. And he talked about the Illuminati, which is most people who know about it understand it to be the most powerful organization in the world, and everybody in power is basically a puppet of the Illuminati, and includes like George Soros and the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and people like that, and Bill Gates is a puppet of them. And like, how did Bill Gates become the expert on health? How did he become so rich? People just all of a sudden become extremely rich and then become extremely popular all of a sudden. Why is that? It's because they made a pact with the Illuminati, and the Illuminati is run by Satan himself. They worship Satan, they bow down to him. They are the idol worshippers that God warns us against. He warns us against worshiping idols because idol worship is really worship of Satan. And this guy, Rabbi Alon Anava. Yeah, Anava. He talked about inner earth. He talked about Satan, the walking, talking, controlling the world snake. He talked about chemtrails, and he talked about microwaves and so many and GMOs and so many other things. Mostly, I knew about it, but there are some things that I know about that he doesn't know about, and they need to be said. They need to be made clear, and that's why I'm doing this video, because once you get into the topic of the Illuminati, you're talking about a topic that I know a lot about, and I'm going to get into some predictions about what's going to happen in the future. In the first video about what's going to happen when the Messiah comes, we talked about how beautiful things will be. We talked about the world peace that's going to happen, how the swords will be turned into plowshares, and we will have all the answers to people's questions being answered by the Messiah. And as I didn't quite mention, but it does say that the knowledge of God will cover the world like water covers the seabed. So we'll be drowning in this knowledge of the Messiah. And he's going to show us how everything was like a different reality, that we were sort of like taking it too seriously, and everything was more like a movie and more like entertainment. And that'll be the beginning of how he answers that question. There's going to be the resurrection of the dead. All the people that we love, all the great actors and all the great musicians will all come back and do collaborations together. And people will be healed of their mental illness, they'll be healed of their addictions, and there'll be just bliss. There'll be just happiness and bliss all around, but it will be the bliss of being connected with God, because he is the true source of happiness. We're used to getting bliss from Satan's side of the coin. We're used to getting bliss from things that cause addiction and cause pain, ultimately, like Pinocchio's Pleasure Island, if you're familiar with that, how the pleasure actually leads to becoming an animal. When the Messiah comes, he will take care of that. He's going to end the regime of this depression causing, anxiety causing, addiction causing frequency that he is throwing out there, that he's like shocking us with, and we're going to be free of that. And with that, we're going to experience great bliss. Now, what we need to understand why I'm making this video is the Messiah is already here. The Messiah is here. And there's two Messiahs, actually. There's one called the Messiah ben Joseph, and there's Messiah ben David. The Messiah ben Joseph is clear who it was. It says he's going to reign for about 40 years, and this person, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Google him, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, reigned for 43 years, so that's about 40 years. And his mentor, the one who was the predecessor to the movement of Chabad, was named Yosef Yitzchak. So he is the son, because we call students sons. He's the son of Joseph. He set up a whole network of Jewish rabbis all over the world. Everywhere where there's Coca-Cola, there is Chabad. There is a Chabad rabbi who's there to teach you about the 613 commandments and the 7 Noahide laws, and to love you and invite you for meals. And they're always there for you. Wherever you travel, wherever you go, you just have to get the book where the Chabad rabbis are, and they're there. So he set up the whole system for the Jews fulfilling the 613 commandments. And so the Messiah is here, and he's on the move, but he has an enemy. It's not going to be so easy for the Messiah. He has an enemy, and that is Satan. And what we have is like a chessboard. We have the black team, and we have the white team. And they are now going at it. The rooks are attacking the bishops, and the bishops are attacking the castles, and whatever is going on, it's very intense. The Messiah is going through an intense battle, and it's going to take a couple of years for him to defeat this regime. Now, here's the prediction, that as the Messiah goes through what he goes through to defeat the black team, he's going to start taking some really important pieces before he gets to the king, before he gets to Satan. And that means that in the next couple of years, the next year or two, you're going to see the top brass Illuminati dropping like flies. They're already old men, so they're going to drop by natural means, but it will really be because of the Messiah, because of the breath of his mouth, because of his curses. He is going to take out these critical pieces, which are leading up to the taking on the king. Without these pieces in place, the king is completely exposed, and the Messiah will kill through beheading or whatever it is in a dramatic way. He will kill the angel of death, Sam Hamavas, the Satan. And we have to understand that this is going to be an unbelievable accomplishment, because Satan has taken forms as the Erev Rav, the mixed multitude, as Pharaoh, who threw all the boys into the sea, into the river, and killing them, and Haman, who wanted to kill all the Jewish people, and then Hitler, who wanted to kill all the Jewish people. It's always the same thing, killing all the Jewish people, because those are God's people, and they really hate God. Satan's true enemy is God, and the Jews represent God, and that's who he wants to kill for that reason. When he kills Satan, this is the next prediction, there will be a total change in the way the world is. All the addiction was caused by him. The fact that the desires are out of control and they're freakish, that's caused by him. All the desire for porn is caused by him. That's going to be gone. All the mental illness, the bipolar and the depression and the anxiety, gone. All gone, all because there is no longer him sending out these frequencies which shock the systems of the human beings. He is currently at war with us, and he will be at war with us, and we will continue to struggle with these problems until he is killed, until the Messiah is absolutely victorious. And at that point, it will take a little longer for the Messiah to be revealed, for people to know who was actually doing all of this, who was actually behind all the changes in the world, who made it happen. He's in hiding right now. He's in secret. He's incognito. But at a certain point, it will become clear who the Messiah is, and it will become clear what he is doing, and he will rebuild the third temple, and he will ingather all the exiles back to Jerusalem, and there will be praise and dancing and bliss and just worship of God, whereas the black team was worshiping Satan. There will be even stronger worship of God, who is the true power. He is the true one. And just think about, the power regime that's been over us. Like Netflix just becomes so huge all of a sudden, and they have such well-produced videos. The production and the acting is amazing. All of a sudden, just Netflix. And then Bill Gates, all of a sudden, a huge billionaire with Microsoft, and Steve Jobs, a huge billionaire, all of a sudden with Apple. And WhatsApp and Facebook just dominate. They absolutely dominate. Everybody uses them. Why is that? It's because they made a pact with the devil. That's what they call it, the pact with the devil. And it's mentioned in many songs, in movies about this pact. And it takes you to the top, immediately to the top. You get $100 million just like that, just for making the pact. And Bill Gates announced that there's going to be something like the coronavirus like a year in advance, and that made him the ultimate expert on everything relating to the coronavirus, even though nobody really knows what's going on. It's highly likely that the coronavirus came from Satan himself. And he's the one who made that happen. He put it into the minds of the Chinese, or he made it happen directly, or he put it into someone, and that someone coughed on someone, and that's how it happened. And because Bill Gates made the prediction a year in advance, he's like the expert. Well, the Messiah is going to make the predictions well in advance. And he is going to be the expert. He is going to be the authority. And he is going to teach the world that God is one and his name is one. And we will all rejoice in that fact that God was always with us and he was never trying to harm us. He was trying to teach us and he was trying to give us purpose. So may the Messiah come immediately, and God bless you all.